let's make bone broth. Bone broth is the best postpartum food. If I was queen of the world, every person would have bone broth and chicken liver pate on toast after they gave birth. That's because it's incredibly rich in all kinds of things. We know that bones from animals contain ounce for ounce the most amount of minerals than any other tissue. And when we cook those bones low and slow, those minerals leach out. So I'm talking about calcium, potassium, magnesium, iron. These are some of the things, and there's a hell of a lot of other trace minerals that leach out of the bones into the soup when we cook them. So it's amazing. I will do a pot of bone broth every week or two and just have it in my freezer. I freeze them in big lots, I freeze them in small lots, I freeze them in ice cubes. I love just chucking them in, as you'll see in the bolognese, like chuck it in wherever you can because it's got all those minerals and it just helps amp everything up. And it's really, really cheap and really, really easy. You just need to have a bit of time up your sleeve. So the ingredients I keep really simple. There's all kinds of different ways to do it, but this is how I like to do it. So I've got my 3 chicken frames or chicken carcasses sitting there in my big pot. I've got that from my butcher. I highly suggest looking for organic or pasture-raised chickens if you can find them. You know, sometimes I find them easily at my butcher, and then other times he's like, sorry, it's just free range. It's like, okay, you know, it's better than nothing. So go for what you can find. Here's the creepy part. These are frozen together because I buy a big lot and I will freeze them. Hi, little T-Rex hands, also known as chicken feet. I know, creepy, but they are the most rich part in terms of like all the little bones, all the skin. They're going to get your broth really nice and gelatinous is the word that I'm looking for. You don't have to touch them like I am. I'm comfortable with them now, but when I first saw them, oh my God. Okay, so we've got those. We've got some carrots. We've got an onion just chopped in half. Like prep work is so simple. We've got garlic cloves. We've got ginger. I add salt in at the end because I like to sort of taste it and add as much as I need. Some people like to do a dash of apple cider vinegar. I don't bother. But you know, by all means, if that makes you feel better. Some people say it helps leach out the bones, but I don't really notice the difference. So now I'm just covering the ingredients in water. You don't want to have too much water. You want to make sure that it's the right kind of ratio, because if you've got a lot of water and not much ingredients going on, you will end up with quite a diluted broth. And what we're looking for is a broth that will turn to jelly when it goes in the fridge. Or if not jelly, it's going to go viscous. It's quite hard to achieve the elusive jelly bone broth effect, but you can, even if you refrigerate it and then it goes sort of thick and viscousy, that's a great sign too. That's it. I'm going to put this on the stove now. I'm going to put it up to a high heat until it starts boiling, and then I'm going to turn it right down to a very low heat, and I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to leave it there for several hours. So, you know, if you are pressed for time, like 2-3 hours is great. If you can leave it on all day, even better. That's what I'm going to be doing today. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be taking it off before I go to bed. Now, the water you'll probably see will go down. You can keep topping that up, so making sure that you're getting enough liquid. This will probably get me like 2.5 litres. So that's bone broth. It really couldn't be easier. There's no excuse. It's very easy to freeze and defrost. If you're having a hospital birth, highly recommend having a little note on your hospital bag saying, you know, bring bone broth, because you can chuck it in a cooler bag, take it to the hospital with you. It's great for sipping during labour, but more importantly, when the baby comes, let's get on that. Bone broth is really important for pregnancy too. If you're not having it, start now. Get on it. Okay, here we are, 8 hours later. It's a Sunday afternoon. We've got everything going on. Everyone's home. So this broth has been doing its thing for, about 8 hours. And now I'm going to strain it out. So that's going to go there. This can go in if you have like Fogo, you know, organics recycling, you can do that with yours. I like to give the dog, not cooked bones, but the carrots. He loves those. So now we've got our beautiful big bowl of golden chicken bone broth. And I'm running out of salt, but I usually do about 2 teaspoons of salt. That's the end of my salt. 2 teaspoons. And then basically how we do it, okay, you give it a gentle stir. So what we're going to do, I won't show you because I'm going to let this cool down, but we're going to fill up this bottle. Now if you're freezing in glass, just remember to leave some room. So I'll usually fill up to about there, which leaves room for the liquid to expand. Hang on a second, honey. This is really handy. I've got 2 sizes of these if you are into freezing and preserving and things like that. Anyway, so I'm going to freeze this in the bottle, and then when it comes time to unfreeze, you just defrost it in the fridge. I also like to freeze it in smaller portions. I have like a silicone solids kind of thing that's just little cups. You can do it in like little silicone cupcake holders. So now we're going to do this. I will leave you guys to it, but that's your chicken bone broth.